We begin with stunning new developments in a Target 12 investigators exclusive. We've learned hundreds of hours of state police surveillance video at the center of a criminal case against John Carnevale has been erased.
And the shocking revelation came to light at a court hearing this morning. Carnevale is facing felony charges that he lied to election officials about where he lived.
The case follows our Target 12 undercover investigation that raised serious questions about whether or not Carnevale actually lived in the district he represents. Target 12 investigator Tim White was in court today and is here now with the exclusive details. Tim?
Stephen Shannon, the state police set up 2 surveillance cameras on John Carnevale's Providence home following our report, recording video for 30 days straight back in 2016. Now we've learned that video is gone. Within weeks of a Target 12 undercover investigation on then State Rep John Carnevale, state police set up their own surveillance, putting 2 hidden cameras on a home Carnevale claimed to live in on Barber Street in Providence. They're called pole cameras, used routinely by detectives. The cameras are mounted on telephone poles to record surreptitiously on a location. According to Carnevale's attorney William Dimitri, the state police kept watch for a month.
My estimation is about 1,440 hours of video surveillance.
Dimitri says he asked prosecutors for a copy of the video to review for the case, but was told earlier this week the storage system lasts for only 30 days and the video wasn't backed up.
And knowing that they were investigating this, I think it's inexcusable, and I'm seeking further discovery at this point.
State Police Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Philbin tells Target 12, "We stand by the investigation and the charges brought forward against Mr. Carnevale." He added the video was erased in 2016 when the poll cameras were moved to another case and detectives thought the Carnevale probe was closed. In the wake of the Target 12 investigation, Carnevale turned himself into state police in January 2017 after he was indicted on charges that he lied to election officials about where he lived. He has pleaded not guilty. Today's hearing was supposed to be to tell the court if Carnevale was going to accept a plea deal or not, but Dimitri says after they learned of the missing video, they've asked for more time to consider their options. They'll be back in court in 2 weeks. New at 6, hear what the judge had to say when he was told the video vanished. With the Target 12 investigators, Tim White, Eyewitness News.
We begin with major developments in a Target 12 investigators exclusive. A stunning revelation today in the criminal case against embattled former state rep John Carnevale.
We have learned hundreds of hours of state police undercover video from the Carnevale probe has been erased.
As you may remember, Carnevale was indicted on charges that he lied to city election officials about where he lived following our Target 12 undercover investigation.
And Target 12 investigator Tim White joins us now. Tim, you were in the courtroom for this.
Yes.
You just must have been stunned when they said this.
Yeah, Stephen Shannon, it is hard to understate what a surprise it was in court. And look, we knew the state police conducted their own undercover surveillance sting following our report. For 30 days straight back in 2016, detectives kept close watch on a Providence home owned by Carnevale. Now that video has vanished. This undercover video from Target 12 shows then State Rep John Carnevale at a home he owned in Johnston, not in the Providence district he represented as a lawmaker.
You have no story.
In the wake of our report, state police secretly set up what's called pole cameras outside Carnevale's Barber Street property, routinely used by detectives to spy on a location for an extended period of time. In court, Carnevale's attorney William Dimitri says a state police investigator testified before a grand jury that the video showed Carnevale at the house only a few times over a 30-day period, but now the video is gone. How important to you is it to review that video?
To me, it's very important because it goes to the basic gist of this of these charges as to whether or not John was living there.
In court, Dimitri told the judge he believes it's more than 1,400 hours of undercover video by the state police that has vanished. Dimitri says he was told the poll camera storage system lasts for only 30 days and the video wasn't backed up. Now he's asking for more time to consider options.
Because I think it's going to be an issue should this case go to trial.
State Police Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Philbin tells Target 12 they stand by the case against Carnevale, adding the video was erased in 2016 when the poll cameras were moved to another case and detectives thought the Carnevale probe was closed. In court, Judge Bennett Gallo reacted to news of the the missing video, saying, "It's a bit disconcerting to learn the police conducted a month of surveillance with poll cameras and the tapes were not preserved."
Carnevale has pleaded not guilty to charges he lied to election officials about where he lived. The judge agreed to continue the case to later this month. Steve, Shannon?
But Tim, when you talk about this case and you talk about video, I mean, how damaging is this to prosecutors that this video has vanished?
Well, it certainly doesn't help, right? But detectives also interviewed former tenants of John Carnevale, and they are expected to testify. It goes to trial, so it's important to hear about what they saw from the case. Now, keep in mind, today's hearing was scheduled for Carnevale to tell the judge whether or not he was going to accept a plea deal offered by the Attorney General's office. Now things are very different, and the defense has time to mull things over.
We know we can count on you to stay on top of this,
Absolutely.
Tim. All right, Target 12 investigator Tim White, thank you. If you want to send a tip or report government waste, you can call the Target 12 investigators tip line at 228-1763. You can also email us at target12@wpri.com.